It's me, Mrs. Atwood, and I am going to read to you what will the weather be like today. And then after the story, I'm going to do a directed drawing of an art landscape. So it's going to be simple enough for you guys to do. When you add the details, it's going to be very beautiful, especially when you color it. Okay, so here goes. What will the weather be like today? By Paul Rogers. Pictures by Kazuko. So the author is Paul Rogers and the illustrator is Kazuko. Just at that moment, just at the moment when night becomes day, when the stars in the sky begin fading away. You can hear all the birds and the animals say, "What will the weather be like today?" Will it be windy? Perfect day to fly a kite. Will it be warm? Can't wait for that to happen. People sunbathing, kids playing in the stream, people playing outside. Will there be snow or a frost? A frost is just when it's really cold. It's not snowing, but it's really cold. Or a storm? Thunder and lightning, that's how you know that there's a storm. Be dry, says a lizard, and I won't complain. The frog in the bog says, perhaps it will rain. The white cockatoo likes it steamy and hot. The white cockatoo. The mole doesn't know if it's raining or not. The mole's over here. He doesn't know because he's all the way down there in the ground in his home, his little burrow. Whatever the weather, I work, says the bee. The bee is over here working to get nectar and pollen. What, says the duck, is the weather for me? Of course the duck likes wet because he likes to be in the pond, in the water. Weather? What's that? Says the fish in the sea. Why don't the fish know what weather is? You tell me. The world has awakened. The day has begun. School bus, the kids going to school. All the people starting their day. Parents saying goodbye to their kids in the school bus. Right there. And somewhere it's cloudy, and somewhere there's sun. And somewhere the sun and the rain meet to play. What happens when you get sun and rain? You guys know. And paint a bright rainbow to dress up the day. Beautiful rainbow. That looks like fun. Can't wait to do that. How's the weather where you are today? Look out your window, go outside if it's nice and beautiful. I'm pretty sure it's pretty nice and beautiful right now. Check the weather. Look with your eyes, your sense of sight. Use your eyes. Feel with your skin. Sense of touch. Feel what it feels like. Is it hot or cold or wet? Tell me what the weather's like, okay? I know you guys wrote about it the other day, what the weather is like and what it looks like. But this was a book just to support what you guys were writing. If you haven't written it yet, go ahead and draw a picture and then just write what the weather is like where you are today. Here's a little science section in the back of the book. It says checking the weather. This, even though this is a story, this is informational text because it's got real pictures. It's nonfiction. What is the weather like today? How can we find out? Is it hot or cold today? How hot or cold is it? So when you check the weather, if it's hot or if it's cold, how hot or how cold is it? The thermometer will show us. The thermometer, is right here. It has the degrees. So if it's up, 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 it's hot. If it's down, 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 it is cold. Is it windy today? How windy is it? A wind gauge will show us. So sometimes people have a weather vane on top of their house, but this is a wind gauge. It tells you how fast it is going, how windy it is. Is it rainy today? How rainy is it? The rain gauge will show us. Rain gauge is right here. It's like a cup, and so it fills up and it tells you how many inches of rain there is. How else can we find out? We can go outside and see. So at a safe distance, 6 feet at least, go outside and check. See if it's raining, if it's sunny, if it's beautiful. We don't get snow around here, but all right. Are you ready to draw? Okay, let's draw. So today we're going to do a landscape photo picture. So I'm going to put my paper in landscape formation or format. When you have it upside or up this way, what is it called? Portrait. So we're going to do the landscape since we are doing a landscape. Okay? So we're going to draw. We're going to start. All you need is a piece of paper and some markers. I know maybe you don't have markers at home, but it would be lovely to use markers or pencils or crayons to color. But use a pencil at first so that you can, if you don't like how some of your lines are going, you could always erase. We always make mistakes. We're not perfect. Practice makes progress. So get your pencils ready. I have my marker and I will tell you what to do. I will draw it and then I will show you. Okay? All right. So first you want to draw a wavy horizon line. So a wavy horizon line, if you were to look out your window or on any landscape, sometimes there's hills or there's ocean. That is the horizon line. So it separates the sky from whatever the ocean or the land or the hill, wherever it is. So draw a gentle wavy horizon line. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't make it too straight. Give it some curve, just like that. Of course, if I'm going too fast for you, just pause the video so you could catch up, okay? And then number 2, you're going to add a wavy foreground line. So the wavy foreground line, I'll show you. So here is the horizon that separates the sky from the land or water. And then the foreground would be the front landscape, okay? The front land. And then, number 3, draw a simple house. Draw your house, draw your apartment, draw your condo, wherever you live, draw it. So I'm just going to draw a house. I'm starting with either a square or rectangle, just 2 lines, right here. And then I'm going to draw, easy, a triangle, and a triangle has how many sides? 3. All right. So here is my house, square or rectangle, and then a triangle simply right on top, okay? Pause it if you need to. Then you're going to draw a couple of tree trunks. I'm going to draw 2. It kind of looks like arms with spiky hands. Just like that. See my tree? Tree 1, tree 2. One big, one small, just to give it a little bit of variety. There you go. And then you want to add the leaves. This doesn't have to be too difficult. If you know how to draw clouds, you can draw these tree leaves. So it's kind of like a bunch of curves. I'm going to make this one bigger. And then I'm going to do one kind of off to the side right here. So I drew one up here, making it look like there's a tree trunk over here. And I drew the leaves around here, around this tree, and then some big ones over here, like it's a huge tree in the background. Okay? And then in the front part, in the foreground, which means right here, just on the bottom, fill it up with some beautiful spring flowers. We are really hoping, you know, it's been raining, which we thank God for the rain because it's so good for our earth. God has blessed us with a lot of rain recently, but it's spring coming up, so a lot of spring flowers would be beautiful in this picture. So I'm just going to draw some beautiful flowers, simple ones. I drew, see, it looks like an egg kind of, and then I'm going to do kind of like a tulip. So you just do like a U, and then almost like a W right in the middle for a tulip. I'm going to draw a leaf, kind of like a spiky little leaf right there. Draw another little, looks like a daisy. Some more. Whatever you want. I know I taught you guys how to draw a rose the other day. It's just a spiral on top like a cinnamon roll, and then a U underneath, and then just draw like that. Fill it up. Some spiky little leaves like that. Some leaves to fill in the space, just like that. Okay, so some flowers, beautiful flowers in the front. You could almost go as far as maybe drawing a little bumblebee, or maybe a snail. A little snail like that. I don't know if you could see that guy. Here's a bee, and here's a little snail, like that. Okay? You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's always cool to try in your details. Okay? Now fill the trees and land with some, you know how to repeat, and repeating lines are like this, just across the trees. If you're not too confident with drawing those repeating lines, that's okay. You can omit that. You can just not do that. This just gives it some detail and some kind of like pop detail to it. On the hills, I'm going to do some little curvy lines like this to make it look like they're kind of rolling hills. Like that. Maybe over here do some vertical lines. Remember, vertical goes like this, horizontal goes like that. So I have some horizontal lines over here, and then I have some vertical lines going on like this. Just like that. Okay? Oops, sorry. And then fill in the sky with some dots. It almost looks like snow, but when you color it in, it's just going to look like kind of pop art clouds. If you don't feel comfortable with that, go ahead and draw some beautiful little fluffy clouds. Maybe a sun if you wish. The sun, see right here, and then my clouds. And then, when you are finished, go ahead and color it in with beautiful colors. I have my smelly, yummy Mr. Sketch markers. I'm going to start, when you start coloring it in, you know how to do patterns. AB pattern is beautiful on this, so every other section I'm going to color in. Mrs. Atwood is doing this kind of upside, or not, just standing up. I'm sitting down, but I don't usually draw up like this. And then take a lighter green. Makes a difference, right? Especially when you use those lines. And then for the trees, you can make some beautiful springtime trees by using some colors. I know these are, orange is a fall color, but it's beautiful when you kind of just use these bright colors. My mom used to love these orange trees, or fire trees, and they were, during the springtime when they bloomed, they had these bright red and orange berries on them and flowers, and it was beautiful. I didn't know why it was called a fire tree, but when it bloomed in the spring, I understood. So this kind of reminds me of it. And then, of course, you can color in that trunk. You could color in the trunks brown. Let me show you. Brown trunk. That. And then color in the sky. Here are some clouds. And then I'm going to use my lighter blue. Fill that in just like that. I'm sorry I don't have a finished product right here, but I will try and finish this up, and I will post my finished picture along with this video. Okay? So have fun with it. Check out your weather. If you printed out your calendar journal, make sure to fill that one out as well. Okay? Have fun. Bye. Be well.